Okay. All right, I'm live. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. Good afternoon. This wonderful Monday morning. How are you doing? Today, we're talking about how we can plan for our children's financial independence. Have we met before? My name is Veribet Chima. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. I am also the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle with CAMC, a peer mentorship, leadership, and accountability group where we help children get into their journey of consolidation. The goal is to help your children develop all the skills that they need to start navigating their life on their own. The goal is to make your children become self-sufficient while they are building executive functioning skills like what? Problem solving, goal setting, planning, achieving those goals, and of course, doing it from a place of confidence, right? From a place of confidence, boldness, raising children who are assertive and children who understand their why. If you have a child between ages 6 and 14 and they are not in the mastermind yet, then you are missing. Okay, it is time for you to look at consolidation. Consolidation is when your child begins to take all the learning that they've gotten or they have been, they've got, yes, from everywhere. Their teachers, their mentors, their parents, their schools. When the child is able to put all of this learning and all of these lessons together, and the child is able to identify his why, her why, and then begin to walk their journey from a place of intrinsic motivation, where the child can now self-motivate to do the things that they have to do, not necessarily because the parents want them to do it, but because they understand the why. They understand why they need to do it. So that's what we do in the mastermind. We raise children who will become leaders. We raise children who understand their why, children who can move from being motivated by their parents or by external factors to taking all the teaching and all the learning and becoming internally motivated. It is a journey that every child should embark on. It's a journey that every child should be made or encouraged to see, okay, that they need. And why is it different? I mean, they can do this anywhere else. They can do this with just their parents, isn't it? Now, why it's different is because the mastermind is a peer mentorship, right? An accountability group, which means that we have a group of masterminds. We have children who are partners. So what the children are doing is they are inspiring one another. They are learning from each other, right? They are growing together. So this is what we call a child-driven environment. In the mastermind, I'm just a visitor. I'm actually just the matron in the mastermind. Their lead partner is Kamsi, our 13-year-old son, and all the kids in the partner, all the partners in the mastermind are leaders in their own right. Yes, leaders in their own right. They even have groups where people lead. My son Kamsi is going to be in a group where some other person is going to lead him. And he is the lead partner of the mastermind. That's how robust the curriculum we run in the mastermind is. So if you have a child and the child is up to 6 years old and the child is not in the mastermind yet, then you need to do something about it. Okay, our next cohort begins in September. 1st of September. That's when we'll be enrolling the next set of children into the mastermind circle. So today we are talking about planning your child's financial independence. Have I introduced myself? Yes, I have. So how can you plan for your child's financial independence? Okay, the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of parents when you talk about financial independence, the first thing that comes to mind is that scripture that says you should store inheritance or something like that for your child. So every time we're thinking, you hear parents in conversations, you hear parents talk about how we're working so hard. Everything that I'm doing for these children. Everything I'm working for these parents. Okay, some of us have had to make some really, really difficult decisions decisions in our lives. And if you ask, okay, why did you have to do this? Why did you have to leave everything? Why did you have to take up everything? Why do you have to take up this? You hear, oh, I'm doing it for my children. I'm doing it for my children. Not a bad thing at all. But sometimes we are invested in the wrong things. Okay, when we think about, the legacy that we're leaving for our children, or the heritage that we're leaving for our children, it's something that we need to stop. We need to start. We need to stop and ask ourselves, like, really, I mean, what does the scripture really mean? Okay, and how do I really understand it? And what exactly am I doing? What I'm doing, is it really fulfilling what it is that I'm supposed to do? Because sometimes we may just be chasing all the wrong things in the name of trying to fulfill a scripture, trying to fulfill a command. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. Where are you joining me from? Please, if you're catching the replay, where are you catching this replay from? I need you to let me know in the comment section where you are joining me from. If you are on YouTube, let us know that you've joined us on YouTube, and you need to subscribe if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel. Oh, sorry about that. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, then it's a good time. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, then it's a good time for you to do that, okay? If you want to have the best experience on our YouTube channel, okay, and then catch up on our past videos, and of course, be notified when we go live for new videos and new learning opportunity, then go ahead and subscribe, and you remember to use the bell button so that you get notified. Are you here right now? Do you have a friend that needs to be here? Please don't stay in the background if you are here. All right, so say something in the comments. Let us know that you have joined us. Let us know that you are a part of the stream right now. Okay, and if you have a friend that needs to be here, why don't you go ahead and tag them so that they can be a part of this amazing experience? Yes, yes, yes. And the topic for today is something you do not want to miss. So I'm going to give 1 or 2 minutes and for people to join us so that we can shoot. Okay, I'm going to give 1 or 2 minutes, yeah, for people to join us. Okay, for you to also invite your friend that needs to be here, for you to remind someone who needs to be here, because this session is going to be worth your while. All right. So let's skill up, everyone. Invite anyone you know that needs to be invited. Call up your friends to join us. Remind those that need to be reminded to join us. And let's move. There is a lot to do. There is a lot to learn. And there is a lot that our children are depending on us for. Okay? If we do not put ourselves in the position where they can get, if we can't put ourselves in a position where they can benefit from us, then we would have done them a disservice as parents. Why do you want to raise a child that will have to reparent themselves when you can parent them once and for all? Now, that is a good why, isn't it? Good. So go ahead and invite your friends right now. Let's move. And if you're catching the replay, let me know where you are joining me from and what your expectations are for this class. All right? So let's skill up. I'm sending my own invites. All right, so let's go. All right, so as I was saying, we are talking about, today we're going to be talking about how we can plan for our children's financial independence. Truth is, every child is brilliant. I hope you know that every child is brilliant, every child is smart, every child has the ability, right? Every child has the ability or the capacity, right, to be the best, to be excellent. That's the truth. Every child has the capacity to be excellent, right? Because right there, deep down within every child, God has put everything that they need to be the best version of themselves, put everything that they need to fulfill the purpose for which they have created them. Now, this is what happens when your child is born. Your child is born to you as a parent, and the first phase of the child's life, the phase where the foundation of the child's life is being built, okay, during their formative years, the children are absolutely dependent on us, isn't it? As a parent, your child is absolutely dependent on you during the formative years of their lives. This point, your child is a dependent on you. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, what you bring to the table is all that your child is going to have access to. What you bring to the table is all that your child is going to be privileged. That's the only privilege that your child is going to have. Now, when I say what you bring to the table, of course, it includes what you as a parent bring to the table and the access that you give your child, or the people and the environment and all of that that you give your child access to, or you allow to access your child. So yes, the school that you take your child to during their formative years is still under your watch, isn't it? So that's you creating that opportunity for the child. That's you creating that environment for the child. So during the formative years, everything that the child has, the child is totally dependent on you for. The people that have access to them, the environments where the child has, okay, and everything, the content of that environment is dependent on you. The children do not pick these things on their own, and the children cannot arrange this on their own. It's dependent on you. So I said, fortunately, if you are a parent that understands that you can give your child the parenting advantage by the kind of environment that you put the child in, the kind of knowledge that you have as a parent, and the kind of content that you give your child access to. Now, this is going to form what the child is going to form a lot of the child's mindset, the child's beliefs, the child's behavior. That's what's going to form it, isn't it? That's where it's going to be formed from you. Now, imagine that the child is associated with a parent that is totally ignorant. Okay, a parent that is ignorant, a parent that does not understand the needs of the child, a parent that does not even understand the child that he is parenting, as we see in many cases, the parent that does not even understand how to help this child become the best version of themselves. What happens is the child is at a disadvantage. So as parents, we can be advantageous or disadvantageous to our children. So we may be giving our child the parenting advantage, or we may be giving them a parenting disadvantage. And the thing about the parenting advantage today is we can actually be giving our children a disadvantage without even realizing that this is what we are doing, just because of the knowledge gap that we have as parents. Okay. Now, today we're talking about financial awareness. Okay, so I'm going to stick to financial awareness. I'm not going to be talking about many other areas, because we know, of course, by now that the education of your child spans beyond just their academic prowess. I hope you know that. Your child's education is supposed to be holistic. As a parent, you should go on to help your child get a holistic approach. I mean, you should gone for a holistic approach to education. So no, you cannot in the 21st century be raising a child that is lopsided. You cannot in the 21st century be raising a child based on just one area, okay, of education or knowledge. So at the PTM, we say we have 8 signature areas that we advise parents. And then when we work with these children, these are the areas that we are focused on, even in our work with the children. We focus on their academics, okay? This one is very common. A lot of parents focus on this because, hey, we have all been raised to know that we need an education. And nobody's disputing that, okay? Nobody's disputing that at all. So yes, the academic education, very key. Okay, we also focus on kingdom life. Kingdom life is your beliefs, your ideology, right? Your beliefs, your ideology, your faith, and all of that. So that's also very key. So at the PTM, okay, and at the mastermind, the program that we have for children, we also focus on this. And I know a lot of parents focus on this too. Hi, Chidima, how are you doing? A lot of parents focus on this one too. All right. The other thing we focus on is your child's self-management. Your child should be able to manage himself as an individual. Okay, so independence should be somewhere really very high on your on your list of goals for your children. And this independence we're talking about is independence at every level of your child's life. Your 2-year-old should have some level of independence. Your 8-month-old should have some level of independence that is at their age appropriate level. That's what I mean. I did not say your 2-year-old should start cooking. No, that's not what I'm saying. At every level, there is a level of independence that your child can be exposed to. So independence should come really very high on your list, of goals for your children. All right, very, very key. That's self-management. There should be home management. We should be raising children that wherever our children find themselves. Good afternoon, welcome Facebook user. I can see your name. Okay, keep up the good work. Thank you. Keep up. Keep on showing up too. I mean, there's always something to learn, right? Yes, and there's a lot to learn from you too. All right, so I hope you know, if you are in this group, that you can also share experiences and share your knowledge with us. Okay, all you need to do is submit it in the group, but it has to be something that is tied to what we do here. It has to be children or related. Okay, and it has to be something that we can benefit from right here. And please don't share links from all kinds of places with us. We want to keep it, locked in the group, so we are not sending people, redirecting people to all kinds of sites that we cannot vouch for. Okay, so you can actually send in your knowledge, your experiences, and we'll share it in the group so that people can learn from you also. So I deviated. So let me come back to what we were talking about. So home management, it should be a goal for you as a parent, that at every point you're raising children, that wherever they find themselves, and I mean wherever, okay, wherever in the world they find themselves, okay, your children can navigate on their own. So you're raising children that will not be a burden where they find themselves. So it could be you that is just it could be you as a parent, you are not available for some time, for some days, for some hours, and you want someone to watch over your child. Then you want to drop a child that the person will be glad to watch over. Okay, it could be that you're away from the city and you want someone to watch over your child for 2-3 days. You want to drop a child that people will be excited, right? That people will be excited to look over. I have a friend, I have a friend that every time she tells me, right, she can be pretty busy moving from one city to the other. Every time she tells me or she asks if she can drop her kids with me, I don't even hesitate. As in, I don't hesitate at all, because I know that her children are an additional blessing, additional hands in the house. Their energy is an additional vibration in the house when we have them. Okay, but there are people who tell you they're bringing their kids, okay, you just reluctantly accept simply because, hey, I mean, we have to be there for each other. But you know that the children are going to be more of a burden than, a blessing per se, just because of what we as parents have done or haven't done for our children. So yes, you can be an advantage and you can be a disadvantage to your child. It is what it is. There is no mincing words about this. Okay, so as a parent, you can either make or mar your child. Your destiny is tied. Your child's destiny is tied to you as a parent. I want to say that again. Your child's destiny is tied to you as a parent. Okay, one way or the other. And you can actually make or mar how easily your children can access their purpose, or how easily they can connect with their purpose. So you are a huge factor in the life of your child. Don't even get that twisted. Your everyday life, the decisions you make, the kind of parent that you are, how you are parenting these children, how knowledgeable you are about parenting, all of this is going to be a huge factor on how your child is able to access their destiny, or how your child is able to live the purpose for which they've been created. All right, so self-management, home management. We are also very focused on what? Your children building social skills. All of this will fall, in all of this management. Children being able to build social skills, and then their emotional intelligence. Very, very key. You are going to be the blueprint, okay, for your child's emotional intelligence. Okay, how you're able to calm down in situation, how you handle situations, and how you interact right with your emotions are going to form the first lessons that your children get on emotional intelligence. So you don't want to joke with these things. Okay, we also deal with other areas, okay, like what? Financial education, very key. Okay, so we do with leadership, we do financial education, we do skills and talents. So, but for today, we are looking at how you can create, okay, how you can create a financial independence, how you can raise your children to be financially independent by the time they are leaving your home. By the time your child is leaving your home to go to the university, your child should be Your child on a scale of 1 to 10, your child, I mean, it's different goals for different people. But if you ask me, as I see here, my child should be at least 90% financially independent by the time he's leaving my home at age 18. That's it. Okay? And that will not happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a day. So at every level, your 14-year-old should be financially independent at some level. Your 15-year-old at some level. Your 16-year-old at some level. Now, what are the plans that you have? What are you doing towards this? Okay, what plans are you putting in place to ensure that by the time your child is 18, your child is probably 100% financially independent, 90%, 70%, 80%. But by all means, your child should have a level of financial independence by the time they hang their bag and they are going off to college or university. If you are not raising your child like this, or you don't have this goal at the back of your mind, you are wrong. I'm not even mincing words. You are wrong. We want to raise children that will not constantly be looking for, what do they call it? 2K, 2K, how do they call it? How do they say it? They call it, eh? 2K credit. My son says 2K credit. Can you buy me 2K credit? Okay. No, there's a way we call it. There's a way we say it in Nigeria parlance. 2K, I don't know, I can't remember. 2K for the road or something like that. You don't know, but you definitely do not want to raise a child that is constantly looking for someone to give them 2K everywhere. No, you want to liberate yourself from that. A lot of us went through all kinds of funny things. All right. A lot of us, urgent 2K. Thank you. Yes, it's called urgent 2K. Thank you. So you want to liberate your child from that urgent 2K rubbish. Okay, let's liberate those children. Your children shouldn't be calling you for 2K. They shouldn't be calling you for 2K. They shouldn't be calling you for some kinds of, there are certain things that our children should not call us for. Our children should call us and say to us, oh, mom, I just invested in this. Or, oh, mom, I want to invest in this. Dad, I want to invest in this. What do you think? These are the conversations we want to have with our 17-year-olds. These are the conversations. Your children should call you and say, Dad, have you checked this out? Okay, check this investment and see. Let's talk about it or something like that. Hey, Dad, I want to talk to you about this. There's something I'm thinking of investing. These are the kind of conversations we want to have with our children by the time our children are 17, 18, and thereabout. Now, how do we do this? How do we achieve this? How would this happen? It's not going to happen automatically. It won't happen overnight. It has to be something that we are willing to plan for and something that we're able to achieve by the time our children get to that age. As I said, unfortunately or fortunately, our children's destiny is tied to us because during their formative years, the time where they are building skills that will help them excel at 18, the time where they are building habits that will help them excel at 18, the time where they are developing this habit, the times where they are practicing this habit, the times where they are staying consistent to this habit, the time that your children are building discipline and self-control is the time that they are absolutely dependent on you. So if as a parent you don't know this, or you don't recognize this, or you don't recognize the need for this, it simply means that your child is going to miss this opportunity in their life and you will end up being a disservice to your child. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. The Skill Up Show is a short show that we have every Monday at 1 p.m. Sorry. Skill Up Show is a very short show. It's supposed to be, ideally, we crafted it to be a 30-minute show where we just come in here and talk about a skill, give you a few tips that you can use and apply in your parenting for that week. And then when you need more, okay, or you need support, you can reach out, okay, and get support. Because we know that tips are not enough for you on this journey. You are raising a whole human being. You are a custodian of a whole human being. You are building the character of a whole human being. You are co-creating with God. You cannot use tips for that. It takes much more. It even takes much more to raise dogs and to raise chickens this day. People go and learn how to actually run a poultry, isn't it? They learn how to run a poultry so that they don't lose their birds, learn what kind of food to give them, to give the birds. They learn all of these things just to raise chickens, right? Yes, we're raising whole humans. We're raising whole human beings, and we are still arguing. We are still counting our figures. We are still counting the money in our wallets when it comes to getting resources, getting support, and getting assistance when it comes to raising children. Our priorities are misplaced too. At this point, you should go all out. Every time I talk about my children, especially my first son, every time I'm talking about my son, I am doing it with numbers. It's numbers. I have numbers at the back of my head every time. I am looking at him, he's 13. In my head, I am counting 5 more years to go. 5 more years or less. That's all I have. What is 5 years? When did I even have my daughter that she's almost 8 already? So I know that 5 years is not, it's like a breeze. So yes, at every point, at the back of my mind is 5 years. So no, so when I'm running this journey, I run it with urgency. When I'm running this journey, I run it knowing that I don't have all the time. I run it knowing that I just have 5 years to help this child, to support this child, to guide this child, and to help this child get to the point where this child can navigate 100% without me. So at every point, parents, even if you have a toddler, be thinking in the minus, like take away how many, even if it's 2 months old, take away your 2 months and say to yourself, I have 17 years and 8 months or and 10 months. When you do this, you will understand the urgency in parenting. It's because we don't do this that we don't understand, and so we think we should just faff around. Okay, your child should be learning skills at every point. You should be looking, where is the gap, what is the gap, what skill. There should never be a time that your child is standing without learning a particular skill. And when I talk about skill, okay, I'm talking about learning that skill at an optimal level, not the one that you remember only when the child has done something wrong. Then you begin to shout, look at you, all your mates, they know how to wake up in the morning and do what they have to do. From tomorrow, if you don't wake up, what I will do for you in this house, you will know. That's where you will finish threatening the child. The next day, the child will wake up early and everybody is okay. After 2 days, by the third day, you will even forget the child is supposed to wake up at a certain time. So all those threats, they don't work. So what do? You recognize that there is a gap in this area. And what do you do to that gap? You fill in that gap with the appropriate skill that you need. If they need support, get the support. If they need consistency, be there with them on that journey. Stay in there and help them build the stamina, the muscle that they need until you can see that they have internalized this skill. And then you continue to reinforce it over and over again. But to think that all you do is shout once in a while, scream once in a while about this, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. Okay? As I said, the Skill Up Show is a very short show, so we would go right into it. What can I do as a parent to start helping my child build the necessary foundation for them to be financially independent in the next couple of years? Number one thing you want to do, and this goes for you, the parent of a toddler, the parent of an infant, the parent of a child at any age. You need to teach your children. You need to put strategies in your home, in place in your home. You need to put strategies in your place, in your home. You need to use tools in your home that will help your children be people who are not wasteful. When children are wasteful, when people are wasteful, they are not able to accumulate. Wasteful people do not know how to accumulate. So it begins with your child who is wasteful with water, wasteful with food, wasteful with their things. You buy them a set of stationery. The next thing they go to school, they come back in the pencil case, as you know, as they call it. The pencil case is empty. The next day you go to the big jar where you have 50, you take another one, you put it there. What you are saying to that child is that it is okay to be wasteful. Wasteful people are not gatherers. Wasteful people do not gather. It is people who are not wasteful that gather. Have we forgotten that one of the characteristics of successful people is that they are frugal? They have a lot of money, yet they are the ones that do not throw their money all around. They have a lot of money. They are not the ones that live in the biggest mansions. It's usually the middle class people, the people who stumbled on money somewhere along the line, the people who do not even have generational wealth. They are the ones who end up with all the massive and all the crazy expensive, things. This really rich people, these really successful people who come from a history or that have built generational wealth, they are still usually frugal, and they are usually very meticulous with their resources. Why are we wasteful? So it begins right from home. So you see someone who is 25 and the person is really very wasteful, and you're thinking, oh, he's so wasteful. No, he didn't just become wasteful today. Okay, he probably grew up, most likely grew up where waste was not seriously looked at. It was taken for granted. And so the child took this habit, and the child, of course, you know how it is. When you give children anything, when you give young people anything, they will multiply it. So you see that saying that we're constantly saying, our children will be better than us. Our children will do more than us. Yes, they will do more than us, negatively and positively. So if you allow waste in your house, your child will take wastefulness as a habit, and your child will multiply it. Okay, your parents in your home, your children have, at every point, they have 10, 15 shoes. They are constantly struggling with making a choice of which one to wear. Without knowing it, you are putting your children through a lot of stress. Yes, it is stress at that level. Yes, too many choices. When your children have too many choices, it is stressful. It is stressful for their young brains. Your children should have 2, 3 options thereabouts. So when you pack so many things for your children in the name of, I got money, I got bank. Okay, so when you pack that, you put your children in a stressful situation. So at every point, they have so many choices to make in their head. The child is constantly confused. So in many cases, you don't even teach them how to make informed choices, because really, how many of those choices are they going to consider before they settle for an informed choice? So it's a matter of, okay, there are many, which one do I take? He grabs. So you don't even allow your children have the opportunity to think their action through when they make decisions. So everything is guessing, everything is tumbo basket, everything is guesswork. So this is the attitude that they live with, and so making informed decision is not a thing. Sitting down with a decision is a problem. It's problematic for them to even stop and sit down to try and make a decision on anything. They would rather just grab the easiest option, or rather just grab the closest thing and go away. Okay, because you have not passed them through a journey where they have enough, just reasonable amounts of choices to make, and they're able to think of a why. They're able to reason before they make these choices. So as I said before, we need to be careful as parents. Okay, we need to be careful as parents so that we are not giving our children more burdens in the name of trying to make them or give them a life. Did you not hear that Mark Zuckerberg, have you not seen? Mark Zuckerberg practically wears what? Only a particular kind of t-shirt. Now, are these t-shirts cheap? I heard they are not even really cheap. So it's not him being stingy. You know how a lot of times people want to say, oh, poor people are stingy. It's mediocrity that makes us think that way. Okay, so no, Mark Zuckerberg's t-shirts are not they're not $1 t-shirts. They're not $2 t-shirts. They're actually custom made for him. And I understand they are not cheap. But see what it is. He wants to limit his choices so that he doesn't have to sit down struggling with, how do I want to look? What do I wear today? And all. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep it simple. Yet some of us have 4-year-olds that we heap options on. So the child is already struggling. We don't understand that this is stress, but it is stress. Okay, so if you do this with your children, you would teach them to be wasteful. Okay, they are wasteful with their decisions, they are wasteful with their choices, they're wasteful with their resources, they're wasteful with everything around them. So they are not accumulators, they are dispersers. So your children are constantly dispersing. Today is one pencil is gone, another day is the blue one, the green one is gone. in 1 week, you'll be wondering, didn't I buy a pack of 20 pens? Where is everything gone? Because you are not holding them accountable and you are not teaching them this simple habits. Okay, it's as simple as turning out the, I mean, turning off the light. I mean, turning off the light switch when you're stepping out, turning it back in when on when you are in, turning on the off the tap when you're not. It's as simple as that. When you're done with your food and you're not eating it, packing it up nicely for the next time you want to eat it, or packing it up for the dog or for something. Just be useful, okay, rather than being wasteful. So yes, if you're going to build a solid, successful financial independence, if you're going to start that journey for your child and with your child, then you need to start with having your children understand, okay, having your children understand the value of things, having them understand the value of people. Okay, I don't have enough time. As I said, Skill Up Show is a short show, so I don't even have the time to go into the value of people. It's the same thing. You need to help your children understand that people are valuable. Okay, people are valuable, and as a wealthy person, you will need the gift of people in your life. You will need the gift of trusted people. You will need the gift of human resource in your life. Okay, and this human resource comes from the relationships that you build. It comes from your social connection. It comes from your ability to build those social connections and your ability to sustain them, your ability to manage your relationships, and your ability to build trusted and inner circle, human people in your life, the gift of men. Okay, very, very key. All right, so you need to teach your children this, because they can also be wasteful in their relationships if they don't understand being collectors. They don't understand being people who are mass. They don't care. I mean, some of us are so careless with the way we talk, with the way we approach people, with the way we approach our relationships. Some of us will sell our relationships, deep relationships, on a platter of simple things. I mean, simple things that can be fixed, simple things that can be fixed, simple things that are trivial, simple things that we can look past, simple things that we can find the right opportunity to talk about in an empowering way, or right opportunity to talk in an objective way. We're ready to throw everything down because we are too careless with our words, careless with our emotions. We are emotionally indisciplined, very and all of that. So these are the things we need to teach our children today, if we are going to have them begin to build, if we're going to start building that the whole platform and the whole opportunity for them to be financially independent. All right, did we get that? Are you with me? If you're following me and you are feeling me right now, please let me know in the comments that you're following, you understand what I'm talking about, and it's making sense to you. All right, number 2. Okay, I'm going to be really fast about this. So you already taught this child, to be frugal, taught the child to take care of their things, take care of people, and all of that. Now, the next thing you want to pay attention to is you want to pay attention to the things that come easily to your child. Okay, you want to pay attention to the things that come easily to your child. You want to pay attention to their playtime. Okay, and this playtime, when are you going to pay attention to playtime? When are they playing? Okay, so they are really playing when they are 1 and 2 and 3. So you see what I mean when I say their destiny, their purpose is linked to you, whether you like it or not, because it is the parent who is able to identify, okay, that is available, right? A parent who is available to see the child play, to see their child in their element. That's the parent that is going to recognize, right, the things that the child is interested in, the hobbies that the child likes, and the things that the child does easily. It's a very huge part in the child's talent, and that's because the child's gifts, the child's talent is tied to the child's financial success. Don't joke with it. Do not joke with your child's interest. Do not joke with your child's talents. Do not joke with the things that your child loves to do. Do not joke with your child's collections, those things that your children collect around. The collection alone will point you to your child's interest. The collections that your child keeps can point you to their interest. Thank you, Akudo. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for the feedback. All right. So their collection alone can point you to their interest. So you want to pay attention to these things, because right in there lies your child's wealth. Right in there lies your child's financial independence. So pay attention to these things, and then when you see this, you know how you can start honing it. At the point, by the time my son was between 2 and by the time he was 3, thereabouts, 3, 4, 5, it was cars for him. It was a lot of cars. He wanted cars, car toys, and then he started paying attention to the logos. So a car is driving past, and your 4-year-old is like, oh, that's a BMW, and another car passed, and he's like, that's a Lexus. Okay, and you're wondering, okay, how did you know that? He had already paid attention to the small details. And then my husband was also big on what's that program, Top Gear. Okay, so my husband was a Top Gear, fan and all of that. So he would sit down with his daddy and they would watch Top Gear together and all of that. And that's another thing. If you are in the academy and you've been following me, or you have your child in the mastermind, you will know that I talk a lot about the noise. Okay, because sometimes some of the interests that our children have may be just noise as a result of the people in their lives, the things that they have, the things in their environment, okay, and all of that. So it may not really be their eventually be their big interest, but hey, these are the things that are around them, and it's only normal that they connect with things and the people that are around them. But if you pay attention and you are with them, you will see how gradually they move from those things that are the noise, and they're able to focus on the ones that are actually their thing. Do you understand? Yeah, so you need to pay attention to this. Now, when you pay attention to this, what you're doing is that whole 10,000 hour rules begin to kick in, because hey, it simply means that this child loves this thing, so the child is drawn to this naturally. I'm sure if you're following me, you should know about sensitive period. Okay, sensitive period for different skills in your children's life, a time where the child is naturally pulled to a particular interest or a particular skill in their environment. Okay, and the child can learn that thing in its most natural form and easy form. Okay, so what happens during that phase is you will find that the child is always spending time with this. Your child is already building. Okay, your child is already practicing. Your child is practicing, that thing, understanding his world, understanding that thing, understanding how that thing works. Okay, so it could be a child who loves musical instruments. Okay, so you find that your child is constantly taking the tin of milk, empty tin of milk, and is always drumming on it and all of that. Listen carefully. Over time, you will find that your child begins to make a reading. You will find that his reading are consistent. He's beginning to make lovely sounds. Okay. Now, as a parent, if you are in that environment, what do? This is the point that you want to sit down with the child and use art to extend their learning. Why am I saying use art to extend their learning? Because when children are involved, they learn. Okay. I'm always saying this. Okay. Show me and I will forget. Tell me and I may remember. Involve me and I will learn. Okay, so that's when you want to take that scene. You know how we used to do it when we were young? Take the tin, take a balloon, okay, and then wrap it over the top of it, and then fasten it with a rubber band, and then give it to the child. Now the sound becomes different when he does it, and that alone is exciting to your 3-year-old. That alone, the simple fact that he was a part of that creation, the simple fact that he was a part of that creation, he was a part of how it happened, he saw it happen. Now you will find that when that particular one that you created with the child sears off, the child wants to create another one on his own. By the time you bring another tin and you bring another balloon, you will find him insisting, you ever do it, I want to do it. You are already putting your child in a space where your child is willing to create. Your child is a willing learner. Dear parents, if you're raising a child in the 21st century and you're not raising your child to love, to enjoy learning, you are wrong. I'm not even mincing words about it. You are wrong. If you are that parent that is constantly looking for how to send your child to school to go and learn from the teacher, that learning is nothing near this one that I just talked to you about. You stimulating your child early in life, doing it together, doing it in a fun way, and your child willingly learning it. It's nothing like what he does with his teacher in school, where he has to struggle to hold the pen. He doesn't want. He's crying sometimes. The learning that is happening there is a drop in the ocean compared to this one where you're sitting down on the ground, creating together, laughing together, and he drums, he gets the sound, he's excited. This is cool. This is school. Okay? All that thing you jump around, that's not really school. This is the real school. Okay? So do that with a child. And then from that, you will find out, okay, then you can now go out one day and come, with the small, you can go into an instrument shop and then buy the small drum and all of that. So go with the child's age, go with the child's interest, go with the things that intrigue the child per time. But what you're doing is you're helping this child practice already. You're helping this child build interest. You're helping this child stay consistent. And then a point will come where it has to be more than just the child playing the drum in the house. This is the point where you now need an expert. Okay, that will also come with how you are. Your child is leading you. You can see the child is at this point in his journey, and then he has passed what we're doing right now. He's at the next level. You need to understand the levels in your child's learning so that you can bring in people who can support them when it has gone beyond your support. Another problem we have in this part of the world is that we know how to raise local champions. Yes, we know how to raise local champions. First of all, we will not give the children the chance to self-discover. We are always hindering their ability to self-discover with our many stop it, go away from there. Because of that, you're stopping their intuition. Now, after stopping their intuition, when the ones that they even manage to do, you will not get to the point where you can bring in people who can support them at some point. Your children need coaches. Your children need mentors. Your children need people who have gone ahead of them, or people who are doing well in these areas, people who can motivate them the way that you can motivate them. And hey, I hope you know that when people motivate your children, the right kind of person, when an expert motivates your child, is different from when you motivate your child. So what you are getting is two people at the same time on this matter. Your result is always not, you can't compare the result, I promise you. And then why am I saying this? Because I have the audacity to say it, because this is what I have done. Yes, this is what I have done over the years, and I'm not saying done for parents alone. This is what I have done with my child. This is what I am doing with my children, and the result is explosive. The results don't lie. We put our results out there so that we can use them and run with them, and then use them and apply them in your own journey. All right. So that's the other thing you want to do. You want to pay attention to their skills, their talents, the things that they love to do, and all of that. And then what next? You want to hone it when you come, when push, at the point where they are ready for the next level, isn't it? You want to hone it and do it with mastery at the back of your mind. Getting the right people to support your child. Getting the right people to help your child. Okay, number 3, the habits. The habits. So at some point you will have to pay attention, like really stay focused on the habit. Okay, now after you have paid attention to what your children love to do, after you've paid attention to what your child actually says with his mouth that he loves to do, what do you want to do next? Okay, this is what I do. Okay, I want to sit down with the child, or you want to sit down with your child, okay, and say to the child, oh, you love this, isn't it? Now let's look at all the things that we need to have, all the things that we need to learn, all the things that you would need to achieve, all the things that you will need to pass through, all the support that you will need in order for you to become exceptional at this thing. At every point, let your children know that they have the grace, they have the ability to be the best in anything and in everything that they do. Okay? We have been running a course since last week, the Raising a Financially Smart Child. Okay, Raising a Financially Smart Child is a course that we started with some parents last week. Amazing course. If you did not ready for that course, the only thing I can say to you, sorry. You cheated your child. Yes, you cheated your child if you didn't register for that course. Okay, so I was talking to the participants, of the course. Was it today or yesterday? I've even forgotten my line of thoughts. Yeah, but I'm constantly talking to them, right? We're in the course and all of that, and I've forgotten what I even wanted to say about that course. But hey, it's a robust course, and all this we're doing right now, putting it in deep concentration, and then using this, to teach the children and teach their parents alongside the children. All right. So now, yes, I was telling the children and telling the parents that your child is an extension of the universe. Your child is an extension of the universe. Your child is like the star. Your child is like the moon. You know the way the moon has got his role, right? The moon has got its role, and it is undisputed. The way the sun has got its role, and everybody knows that this is the role of the sun. That is how your child is. Your child is an extension of the universe. Your child has got a role, and the world should know that this is your purpose. This is your role. Your child should know that when the Bible says that everything that he places his hands on shall prosper, it is because he is an extension of the universe, and it is from him that it will flow. The scripture says that out of your belly shall flow the rivers of living waters. So your child should know that out of you shall flow solutions to the world, so that your child is not constantly looking for who is going to fill him up. Your child is not constantly looking for other people to provide for him. Your child is constantly understanding and knowing that me, as I am here, I am a solution brewer. I am a solution creator. So I am constantly looking, what problem can I solve? What solutions can I create? Because the world awaits me to take from my belly and flow and be a solution to the world. So this is it. This is the passion with which I've been talking to the children in that class. That class was just 7,500 naira. When I bring it back to you, you will not get it for anything less than 10,000 naira. But it's a robust course. By the time we're done with the children in that class, there isn't going to be a single one of them that's not going to start pursuing a course. And I'm not even joking with you, because we're with them for a whole 2 weeks, right, to achieve their own project. We are child oriented. Everything that we do, everything that we do in the mastermind, right, a part of a program, right, for children, everything we do there is child oriented, is child driven. It is about the children. It is consolidation. It's not we just gathering children and giving them instructions and teaching and teaching. No, we are not in that space. We're in the space where the teaching is going with their doing. So it is where the child is at that informs what we should do with them next. So the children are the ones driving the knowledge in the mastermind. So that's how it is. It's the same formula, the same curriculum that we extend even in our courses that we do with other children. All right. So yes. So out of you shall flow. So your children know this. So when your children are doing things, they know that they are. They know that they carry within them so much, and that it is a matter of time, right, for them to manifest what they have within them. So let your children know this, let your children understand this, and let your children apply this in everything that they do. All right. Do we still have time to take one? Okay. Do we still have time to take one more thing? Good. Speaking positive words. Yes. Speak positive words into the lives of your children. All right. Use positive affirmation. Let your children know these things. When your children know these things, then you can create affirmations with these things. And then when they speak it, it's not just spiritual, it's also scientific. As you are speaking it, this is what is imprinted in your subconscious mind. You know how the subconscious mind is. The subconscious mind does not filter anything. As you say it, the subconscious mind will take it and believe it. So if they say it, it takes it and it believes it and it stores it that way. So at every point in their lives that they are doubting themselves, the subconscious mind will bring out what it is that you have spoken to it it once upon a time, and that's what it fills you with. Okay, so if you learn and you teach the children to say positive things, this is what they will feed their subconscious mind, and this is what they will produce every time. This is what they will produce every time. All right. Good. So as your children grow, they will identify these things, they will start working their journey and all of that. There is nothing, there is nothing that anyone can be great at that the person does not get involved in. Okay, nothing at all. When our son was 8 years old, he came back home and wanted to start a business. He wanted to start a business because the entrepreneur club had introduced something like that. He started that business. He was able to multiply the capital that was given to him. Okay, and then he paid back that capital, and then he had, he had 2,000 naira with him. What are you going to do? Okay, he said he wanted to continue with the business. And so we continued. We continued with that business. And that was when he was 9. My son is 13 years old today, and he still runs that business. He sells juice. Right now, he started with one variant of the juice. He started with just orange juice. One basket of orange juice we sold, and then he made 3-4 times, can I see? He came in with 500 naira. Yes, he came in with 500 naira. He made 2,000 naira, right? And then he paid back the 500 naira, and he still had 1,500. Okay, from that 1,500, he moved on, and we continued. Now he has 5 variants of the juice, right? That he makes right now. All right. Just this weekend, he supplied in a week. I can't remember the number he supplied, but I know he had to take 30 bottles. Someone ordered for 30 bottles for an occasion. He had to take 30 bottles. He has people who subscribe for 10 bottles. Yeah, he had the 30 bottles. He had a 10 bottle. He had 6 bottles, So this is what he is doing now. 5 years later, now 4 years later, he's here. Now that takes us to number 4. All right. Number 4 is practice and consistency. All right. So when your children eventually find that thing that they have an interest in, until they find that thing that they have an interest in, I said, help them hone it, isn't it? Help them hone that skill so that they can build a passion around it, so that they can build commitment around it, so that they can begin to gather milestones, and they can begin to gather experiences, and then mastery is enhanced. Okay, so they will get bigger and bigger in their mastery, or their mastery will get better and better, isn't it? If you are doubting me, go and ask Serena Williams. If you are doubting me, go and ask Mark Zuckerberg. If you are doubting me, go and ask Dangote. If you are doubting me, go and ask all of these people that have started stuff and they have evolved. It is through practice and consistency. That is how you evolve. That is how mastery is achieved. All right. So by the time your children stay in there, they are gathering mastery. They are gathering experience. They are building their passion, they are loving this more, and then of course they are building mastery and authority in this area. So this is how they are going to hone this skill, and this is how they are going to arrive at this particular level that we're talking about. Right? When they get there, when they get to this level, okay, then we move on to what? You move on to what? You move on to them using this, isn't it? You move on to them using this and making a difference in the world with it. Okay, so by the time they are consistent, they become passionate. Through practice, what happens? They build value in this area. They build their self-worth in this area. They are growing in this area. The next thing is what? Your child begins to impact people. People begin to pay for the value that they give. People are willing to pay for this value. As they are paying for this value, the child is building confidence. The child is evolving. The child is increasing. The child is being creative. On their own, you will find that your child would own it. Your child will own it. It is only while the child is on the journey that you are able to help them build more skills while at it. There was a time on his journey that all our son did was to peel the oranges with a peeler. At some point, he moved from just peeling the oranges to being able to squash the juice. Use the machine to squash out the juice. He moved from that Of course, he started blending. Of course, he started blending the other things first. The squashing of the orange was the last thing that he learned to do where production was concerned. We got to a point that he did production 100% on his own. Like, yes, I am busy, I am out, I am working, and he has to produce 30 bottles of juice by himself, 100% on his own. So he would order for his raw materials. They will come. He will peel the oranges. He will cut the pineapples. He will peel the watermelon. He will blend. He will do all of that. He will wash his bottle. He will stick the bottles. He will feel he did that, 30 bottles and all of that. At some point, he started growing. His orders became more. He was now supplying 30, 40 bottles. And then he has to go to school. And then he has to do well in school and all of that. So at some point, we knew that we needed an extra hand. So we employed someone to help him. So he moved away from production to what? He moved away from production to accounting. So he comes back and he finds out, how many did you produce today? She's written it down. He takes it, he goes to his account book and he records it right there. At the end of the week on Sunday, he sits down, he goes to his Excel sheets and he imputes everything that he has made. That way, he's able to see his production cost, his sales cost, and then his profit. He's able to do that. Now, did he get this one time? No. There are times he will forget to do his accounts. We had the chance to remind him. There are times he will even lose money. We had the chance to remind him. There are times he will not balance. We had the chance to correct him. And this is why we say they need to start this journey right now so that they can make all these mistakes, so that you can correct them, so that you can help them nip the things that they need to nip in the bud, so that you can see, you can even see for yourself, right? You can see their financial habits. You can see their financial personalities. Then you know the gaps that you need to help them fill. You know how to bring in people to support them. You know where the support is needed. I did this with our son for 2 years and we didn't bring his father in. He was in the 3rd year. It was in the 3rd year that the dad came in. Meanwhile, daddy's been a banker. Daddy is good in that area. But no, we're not ready. We were not in the season, for that kind of auditing. By the 3rd year, he had mastered his accounting. He had mastered keeping his records. He still makes mistakes, but hey, we are still there, growing. By the end of last year, he approached his father to be his accountability partner. So daddy is like the auditor right now. So we don't play with the books anymore. He doesn't play with his books anymore because now there is an auditor and he knows that he needs to, defend his accounts and all of that. See how skills are growing. See how he's building skills. See how he's evolving. See how he's getting better. Okay? And all of that. I mean, we don't have enough time. I said, this is already 1 hour and we have to go. But basically what I'm trying to say, there is a lot. There is how he learned to use the 4 piggy bank system, how he evolved from using the 4 piggy bank system. The point where we had to come in and let him know that savings does not multiply. So he has learned to make money. He has learned, or he's learning to manage money. We have gotten to the point he's 13 years old right now. And now the new lesson is that savings does not multiply your money. So you can make money, you can save that money, but until you understand the place of multiplication, then you are not going to move from just someone who earns money to someone who is wealthy. You're not going to move from just someone who is comfortable to someone who is wealthy. And if you don't move from someone who is wealthy, if you're not wealthy, you don't get to the point where you are wealthy, you will not be able to get to the point where you have financial freedom. It is a journey. It is a spectrum. When are you going to start? When are you going to have the opportunity to pass your child through this journey? If you are waiting for them to be 18, to earn their first naira. If you're waiting for them to be 18 to earn their first dollar, why wouldn't you start today so that your child can make the mistake he needs to make with you, so that you can help them? You can go through it. I have been on this journey for 4 years, and our son is still learning a lot of things. We'll probably be on this journey for 6, 7, 8 years before he gets to the point where he can sit pretty and say, I can run a business on my own. So imagine that we didn't start at 19 and 9. Imagine that he didn't start at age 9. Imagine that we didn't start having the financial talk with him at age 6, because it was the financial conversations that we had that made him decide that he wanted to join the entrepreneur club. It was as a result of the seeds that we sow. Oh, parents, I can't be here for too long now, but there's so much, so much to learn on this journey and about your role as a parent. But we have good news for you, and even this one is not enough, but it's something. Okay, so we're going to have a master class in the next in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a master class, but we would have we will launch for you to register for it, today or tomorrow. It's a small, it's one master class, probably 2 days. We'll see if we can stretch it for 2 days. But what we want to do is we want to help you create a financial blueprint. Like, we want to help you create a template. We want to create a blueprint, a template, okay, and hand that template to you. Now you can use the template that we give you, and you can tweak that template, right, to fit your unique situation or your own personal, your value and your journey that you want to go with your children. Because a lot of times what happens is we don't know what to do at what stage. We don't know at what point to introduce what. We don't even know how to support the children. I know this. And so I have done this with our son. We are here. It's not by chance that we are here where we are. We are at this point because this is a part of the template. Now his sister has started working that template too, and then she's at her level for 7-year-old. So she's doing about the same thing that our son was doing at 7, because there is a blueprint, there is a template that we are working. Is this because I'm a rich woman and I have reached that point of I am not. I am not even where I should be. But it doesn't mean that I can't teach my children. They don't have to live my journey. I mean, I started looking and searching. I started understanding my purpose in my late 30s. That's when I started understanding my purpose. What is wrong if your child begins to understand his purpose at age 6, 8, and 9? What is wrong with that? Okay, so a lot of us, the journey and the struggle, the things we struggle with today, okay, if someone guided and directed us in the right direction early, we won't be doing that. Some of us are trying to some of us have not even found what the purpose is for us in our 40s. We are still trying, we're still wondering. No, don't give your child that same journey. Don't do it. Don't raise a child to reparent themselves when you can do it for them once and for all, and put them on that page. That path where they can begin to evolve. Okay, they can take it from there. Okay, that heritage or that inheritance that you are storing up, it's not necessarily just gathering money, houses, and cars for your children now. If they don't have sense, they will still bring it down to the ground. If they don't have sense, they will still bring it to nothing. Okay, so you need them to walk their own journey. They need to walk their own journey. They need to discover. They need to learn, and it comes with time. It comes with time. The language of money, the language of wealth is time. Time is very important. Okay, do not even get it twisted. Don't get it twisted at all. Okay, so we will create that template. We will do that together in a robust class. Okay, master class, full master class. We'll see if we can take it for 2 days or just 1 day. But it's going to be really cheap. 1,500, 2,000. You're able to jump in and be a part of it. Okay, so be in the watch out. As soon as you get it, jump in and take that opportunity. You will be glad you did. In the Raising Financially Smart Kids. My goodness, that must have stopped my session. I'm so sorry about that. What happened? I'm so sorry. A call came in and I mistakenly took it. I didn't have to. I didn't want to. All right. So basically, if we can do this, all right, if we can do this, we will set our children on a pedestal. Say, my son wrote his target. My son wrote his financial goal for this year. And I looked at it. It wasn't 6. It wasn't four figures, it wasn't five, it wasn't six. My son wrote a seven-figure financial goal for this year. Yes, my 13-year-old wrote a seven-figure financial goal. It's audacity. It's a journey that can make him be that audacious. It's a journey. Okay. And that's what I'm saying we can all do with our children. We can all get our children to the point where they understand their financial journeys, that they can dare to be audacious. Wealth starts from here. Parents, wealth begins from here. It is a mindset first. When the mindset is right, then the outward sense or the reality will be easy. Okay, so it's a mindset. So if at 13, his mindset and audacity allows him to write a seven figure, he didn't write seven figure because he was confused. He knew exactly what he was talking about. And I don't even want to start telling you about how far he has walked that journey in 5 months. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So pay attention and wait for the purpose building, financial, templates creation and all of that, masterclass. You can enroll for that. Okay, I want to believe some people couldn't join this one because it was a whole 7,500 naira, which is chicken money for what we are trying to do with our children and what we should be investing in our children at this point. Okay, but you can jump in and be a part of the masterclass. Is just, I think the team will let me know whether it's 1,005 or 2,000 naira, but it's that's cheap. We can jump in and be a part of it, okay, and then get the knowledge that you need to start guiding the children right now. Your children need to create plans. This is an amazing book to keep your children in that space where they can start planning and start working their journey. You cannot talk consolidation without talking goal setting and planning. You can do that. So this is our journal. It's naturally will go for 4,500 naira, but it's still within our children's day bonanza. So you can get it for 40% less. You can get it for 2,099. Okay, 2,999. You can order your copy and we'll deliver, okay, anywhere in Nigeria. You can pick from our pick-up points or we can way bill to you from Abuja. So thank you very much for being a part of the class today. I hope you got value. I hope you learned from this session. If you did, let us know in the comments. And then if there is anything you would want, okay, send us a message. You don't just put it in the comments. If you want the journal, put it in the comments, journal, and the team will reach out to you, okay? The masterclass will be out soon, and then you can actually join that one also. All right, the financial course is already on, so you would be able to join that right now, okay? But you may be the Raising Financially Smart Kids, but after the course, we may be able to even give those who want to be a part of it. We can allow you have access to it afterwards, and you can go through it on your own. It's robust like that. Thank you very much for being a part of this today. I do not take it for granted that you allow me be a part of your parenting journey. My name is Maribeth Shima. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources, and I am the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle. Your children should be a part of our next cohort. I tell you, you will love the fact that you did that for them. Okay, because even you will be blessed by the circle. Thank you very much, and I'm signing out. Bye. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. Okay, we have a whole lot of resources right there. Bye.